This is an update to the update. Arkham Knight is broken again on Nintendo Switch, and I played it firsthand, so I know what I'm talking about. So what exactly happened with Arkham Knight? Well, a lot of us were very excited by the very big 16GB patch. And well, I guess we should get used to disappointment because we still weren't able to do the Knightfall Protocol. So getting the Riddler trophies was very easy to do. In fact, I've heard from multiple people that some Riddler trophies that they were unable to get, they were able to pick up too. And just like my Riddler trophies, which were messed up, like the one inside of the elevator and of course the one inside of the railway car, those were all corrected as well. And then everything seemed like it was, you know, clear sailing. We went and we fought the Riddler and we defeated the Riddler. It was fun. And it's like, yeah, we're on our way back in the Batmobile, and then that is where everything falls apart. And then I've heard so many things that are happening with this game. But before we get to the bad stuff, let's talk about some of the good things that have happened, okay? So, I've gotten my hands on with the game a lot more after the update, and a lot of the challenge maps work a lot better. No sarcasm. I'm being completely honest. The game runs faster, whereas before it was very floaty with especially the combat challenge maps. The Predator sections work much better than they did before. There's still a little bit of, we'll say, frame rate issues, and sometimes there's some detexturing, and sometimes, you know, character models look bleh, but for the most part, you know, it plays a lot better. It runs a lot better. The Batmobile section is still kind of a mixed bag. While I was able to complete a lot of the Batmobile challenges that I couldn't before because, well, I mean, controlling the car was an utter nightmare in the challenge map, I was able to go through the Scarecrow DLC, which I was not able to do originally when the game first came out because it was just too much of a sputtery mess. And because it's a timed mission and you have to, you know, do a race and then fight the Scarecrow, it was next to impossible to fight the game and get to where Scarecrow was. But I was actually able to do that on the stream. I showed you guys how to do it. And while it wasn't as smooth as the PlayStation, well, it ended up working itself out, which was pretty awesome. So that was good. And I was kind of like, wow, you know, I'm actually able to play this. And then I played a bunch of other things, and I did notice that the medals that you would receive, or stars, or whatever you want to call it, I was able to earn those, and then upon completing that, it would save my progress. Also, another big small win, if you go to the character, I guess you would call it selection screen or model screen, whatever you want to call it, and the characters are in the background, you can actually see smoke now, whereas before it was pitch black. And they did a terrible job of incorporating stuff. It was kind of like, oh my gosh, look at this. They actually have the mist and smoke that they have present in other versions of the game, which that is a pretty cool thing because it wasn't possible before because the game was just a huge mess. Also, the Riddler, when he would taunt you, you'd only see him on the billboards, and when you would go into the actual races, there would just be this projector and the Riddler's voice talking originally for like 2 months. And now they've actually been able to incorporate the Riddler onto the wall itself. So when you go into the Riddler race challenges, Riddler will taunt you and he'll tell you stuff and you can actually see him. And I know that's not like a big, you know, woohoo, that's kind of be expected, but before they had to cut corners when they released this on the Switch originally. So they actually took Riddler out of key parts of the game because, well, they just couldn't find a way of getting, I guess, the render to show up, like either on the wall or on some of the billboards. It was just, you would hear Riddler's voice, which, you know, it kind of still worked in context of what was going on, but it's still, you know, a lot better to actually see the character taunting you. So that is a huge win. The gadgets work a lot better now. The gliding is much, much better. Gliding was a huge problem originally in Arkham Knight. There was a lot of sputtering. Sometimes the game would slow down. And, you know, it wasn't constant. It was just kind of like this jittery mess. And for someone who actually has eye problems, I was getting a lot of headaches playing the game because Batman was constantly just kind of like, you know, sputtering every time you would have to use the glide ability. And when you were going after people like Man-Bat and you had to incorporate the glide for AR challenges, it was a nightmare. All of that has been fixed. So then tell me, why are people still telling me that there's all kinds of problems with this game? And I'm actually going to read your input so we can go over some of the terrible things that happened with the update. Of course, we'll also talk about my problem with the update, but here we go. This is from the mouth of the community. Okay, so according to the community, there are problems with chasing Firefly now. Before, the game was very difficult, which I experienced myself. Driving the Batmobile was not very smooth when chasing after Firefly. People are running into a weird glitch when they try to grab Firefly and eject from the Batmobile. It causes the game to freeze and shut off, which is not good. Another person said when they're chasing Firefly, I can't actually show this glitch because I already did that, but supposedly when they are trying to attack Firefly, there's a weird loading screen that pops up, and it messes up them chasing after Firefly, and then the game freezes. There are people who bring Professor Pig back to the GCPD, the game locks up, and then it resets their save file back to when they freed Oracle. So, I mean, there's still a lot of problems that are happening with the port, but we can all agree now with the latest update, there were some actual much-needed improvements, which is good. It is good that they did that. But, I mean, the fact that people still can't activate the Knightfall Protocol, that is going to be a problem. And the more people keep playing this game, they're running into other glitches that I never encountered my first time through. When I was playing Arkham Knight on Switch, the biggest problems that I had was, I mean, the character models looked washed and muddy and gross, like Clayface characters. Sometimes characters would, like, do the disappearing trick where they would vanish. Sometimes the Batmobile would just completely freeze and then the system would jam up. Opening up the map inside of Arkham Knight's headquarters, like in the tunnel area, would cause the game to jam up, which, I mean, I have clips I can show of that, but I have so many Arkham Knight streams that I'm not even going to bother to pull those up because it'll take much longer to get the video out, but just speaking from experience. So I had those type of problems. But from the gameplay that you're seeing here, it looks like the game plays much better. And, you know, that's a good thing. So the only things that I'm hopeful that we don't have to wait, 3 months for the next patch in order to do the Knightfall Protocol, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to actually be able to play New Game Plus. But for the most part, the game is playing better. And I think that's, a good thing. You have to kind of take your wins when you get them. And it's not all bad. It's not all doom and gloom. But still, yes, you cannot complete the Knightfall Protocol. Bringing Riddler back to the GCPD will cause your game to jam up. Or just go to a black screen. As long as you don't hear Professor Pig, you don't have to worry about your save file being corrupted. But if you hear Professor Pig, then chances are your save file will unfortunately be corrupted, so you'll have to find a way of loading a backup save, which the game does allow you to do, and actually my viewers showed me how to do that. So I was very thankful for that, but we just got the black screen of death. It is possible also once you take the Riddler out that you can drive around. And if you're worried about the game messing up your save file, you can actually save after the Riddler's in the Batmobile by going to any key Riddler race area and just hanging out outside of that, and for whatever reason the game counts that as a autosave. So then you can just kind of forever drive around in the Batmobile. You can also change different Batmobiles. You are not limited to just driving Riddler around in the Arkham Knight mobile. I drove him around in the 89, the Tumbler, and some other things just for giggles, including the 66 Batmobile. Thinking that Riddler is inside the trunk was kind of funny. Of course, once you go to the GCPD, everything breaks, but it is still possible to turn it into a driving sim if you want to, especially if you finished everything, but it's just easier to load your save before you fight him and hope to God that they'll patch this pretty soon. But anyway, now I want to hear from all of you guys and gals. Were you able to do the Knightfall Protocol? If so, how did you do it? Did you use a certain costume? Did you use a certain Batmobile? Did you do some Hail Marys and a lot of praying? I really want to know, because most of my comment section on my first update video, it says it's not possible to actually do the Knightfall Protocol and bring the Riddler safely to the GCPD. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more gaming news on anything Batman or Nintendo Switch related, and especially about Nintendo Switch's successor, which supposedly is coming in 2025. And I will see you guys live later today with an awesome live stream on something else. Until then, God bless and happy gaming. Thanks so much for watching. Peace in you. I'm not restarting. Like, I'm done. If they ever patch it again, maybe, but I mean, there's nothing we can do. That's busted, yo. You saw it here first.